All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new On the Stove video. My name is John, and today's title is going to be, for this video, it's going to be Fight for What or Whom You Love. So, I got inspired to make this video because I saw this interview with Keanu Reeves, and in this interview, he tells the interviewer that if you're going to be a lover, you also need to be a fighter. And then the interviewer asks, why is that? And he replies, because if you don't fight for what you love, then what kind of love do you have? And honestly, that just hit different, because I think a lot of people, and I kind of blame the Disney princess movies type stuff on this, people think that once you find your true love, or even you find love, that it becomes something that you don't need to work on, that it's just smooth sailing from here on out. But I have to disagree with that, because I think love is something that's built. It's not something that you necessarily find. You find someone that you can build love with. I liken it to a small fire, like a candle, versus a giant bonfire. Okay? Candles are easy to light. And they're easy to light. They burn for a good while, but at the end of the day, they don't last. But a bonfire takes a little bit of time to light. You need the right ingredients. You need to make sure you're stacking it correctly and that you're working on it. But once you get it right and you start to burn it, it takes a while to truly catch. But once it lights up, it burns, and it burns for a very long time. It can burn through even the darkest of nights, and if you keep adding fuel to it, it's going to keep burning. And I think love is the same way. Love is something you do not find, but you got to build, and that takes time. The love that we all desire to have, where we grow old with somebody, that's something that's built over time. The saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, rings true here. Rome, we consider, is one of the greatest empires of Europe. But that took, it started off as a kingdom, a slight kingdom in the Italian peninsula, as just like a small little city-state, and it grew. But it took almost 1,000 years to do that. When we get to the time of Augustus at 1 AD, when he's already reigning, it's been 753 years since Rome has started. And by that point, they have annexed a lot of the Mediterranean, but that took time. 753 years. That's like going back to the time of our knights, our knights and our kings and queens in the medieval era, and going from there in 1300 something, or even 1200 something, and going all the way to now. And they kept going. That's beside the point. What I'm trying to say here is that love is something that you truly have to fight for. Let's go back to our bonfire example. Let's use something, let's scale it down. Let's talk about a campfire. Say you're in the middle of the forest, you're needing to survive. And you find this campfire, or you build a campfire and you light it, and it's cold outside, and this fire is keeping you warm. You love this fire. You would do everything it took to keep that flame alive. Why? Because if you didn't, ultimately, that would probably be your downfall. You would probably die in that forest and no one would come get you again. Or no one would come find you. And this goes, I guess, connects back to what I'm saying about when we love something, we would fight for it. If I truly love somebody and I truly wanted to see them be the best person they could be, and they're on this journey with me, I would fight for them. I'd help battle their battles. They would help battle my battles. We're in it together. And it's through this that we come to a deeper understanding of each other. We're adding more fuel to that bonfire to where that thing between us lasts. It's long enough so we can light smaller campfires, aka having children. And they can grow theirs when they meet somebody else into a bonfire that lasts. People will come and test your relationship. We're all human at the end of the day, right? People have certain desires. Certain people have certain, they're attracted to certain things. But If you truly love something, you'll fight for it. You're not just going to give up on a hard time, and I think that's one of the things, I think it's one of the problems of the modern perception of marriage is that we think it has to just be smooth sailing, and that marriage, especially in a marriage, that it's something that you can easily just, it's one and done and we're going to divorce. Now you got to fight for it. Now, of course, there's some people with whom you cannot work it out with. And if you're in a dangerous situation, get somewhere safely, right? I'm not telling you to stay in a bad relationship that's hurting you, or hurting yourself, or it could lead to the hurt of others, even children. What I'm saying is that if it's something where it's just the usual, everyone has their disagreements and has the hard patches in their language, in their marriage, then you can't just up and leave, right? And this is why he said, Keanu Reeves said, if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? Is it something that's just surface level? Or is it something that's deep, that there's depth to, right? If I had a fire, going back to our campfire example, that's keeping me alive, I have such a deep connection to this fire. I'm going to do everything I could to keep it alive. I want to maintain that connection. And in the same way, if I've, shared my life with someone, and I believe that this person is someone that I can build life with, I can have a deep connection with, that I want to grow old with, I'm going to fight for that. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure this works. I'm going to help my own self, right? I'm going to help myself grow into being the person that can do the things that I would want done back to me, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But I think that we can't just call it quits. We have to fight for that which we love. If love is the active growth, is the active care and concern for that which we love, then we have to be that. We have to be a lover and be a fighter at the same time. Because love does not come easy, and you got to fight for that. You truly got to put in the energy to work it. If I'm a father and I have kids, any good parent would fight and die for their kids. And if that's the case, why can't we do the same for the love that we claim to have for our partners, for our friends, for whatever? If this is something that I truly care about, I would do it. And this is where I get into the belief of, if barring certain things, life does truly get in the way. There's no way you can do certain things. But when you have the freedom to do things, the saying, if he or she wanted to, he or she would, that is so true. Because you fight for that which you love. And you love that for what you fight for. And if you don't, then what kind of love, again, do you have? So, as we go forward into our lives, into the spring season, let's think about, what are the things that we're giving energy to? Do we truly care about them? Do we want to see it grow? Or even the people that you have relationships with, whether it be friendships or romantic relationships or even marriages. Do you truly love the person that you claim you do? Are you truly friends with this person? How do your actions reflect that? And if they don't reflect that, what can you do to make it better? You probably even just ask, first and foremost, do you even want the friendship? Because if you don't, then what are you doing? Is it just because you don't want to be alone, whether it's in a friendship or in a romantic relationship? How do you even regard the person? If you truly respect them, you do everything you can to make sure that they are growing and unfolding as to how they are, and especially within a Christian relationship and Christian marriage, growing and helping them grow and unfold as God wants them to unfold. So again, let's first examine ourselves. How do I even love this person, this other person, this thing, this plan I have for my life? Then ask and consider for ourselves, what can I do to make sure my actions match that? How can I put more effort into maintaining maintaining that which I claim I love? Because at the end of the day, again, you have to be a lover and a fighter. Because if you don't fight for what you love, then what kind of love do you have? That's all I got for y'all. Hope to see y'all in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Stay well and be blessed.